Students of the Junior Secondary School Karimo took time out to present their essays on the role of schools in the original inhabitant response to gender differences. 6 students in all presented their essays as the Association of Wives of Traditional Rulers in the FCT was on ground to witness the students express themselves and their knowledge of gender rights issues. Hear what they had to say.
I'm here to present an essay topic on the role of schools in the original inhabitants' response to gender differences. A school is a place where formal learning takes place. It could be primary, secondary, or tertiary. The term gender involves how a person identifies. Unlike natal sex, gender is not made up of binary forms. Instead, gender is a broad spectrum. A person may identify at any point within this spectrum. The role of school in the original inhabitants' response to gender differences is a central topic in psychology. Experts agree that nature, that is biology, and nature, that is environment, act together in reciprocally causal interactive ways to produce gender differences. The experiences afforded to girls and boys within school are known to affect gender differentiation both directly by providing differential skill practice and reinforcement, and indirectly by providing input that lead children to actively socialize themselves along gender differentiated pathways.
A school is an educational institution where formal education takes place. Gender discrimination is the belief that a male is better than a female or a female is better than a male that will lead to unfair differences in the treatment of people. Most institutions play good roles in the inhabitant response to gender differences, but schools are the best in terms of eliminating gender discrimination. Schools can magnify and diminish gender differences by providing environments that promote within gender similarity and between gender differences, or the inverse. School affects gender differentiation via two primary sources: the teachers and the peers. Schools should try and educate the students on how to treat each other equally and fairly in order to achieve a strong bond between the males and the females. They also give the disadvantages of gender discrimination to the people. Education enable girls and boys, women and men to participate in social, economic, and political life, and is a base for the development of democratic society. Education can be crucial to changing attitudes into accepting gender equality as a fundamental social value.
Gender discrimination is the act of taking one sex more superior and the other inferior. In our society today, many people feel that boys are more superior than girls, and that is bringing in more cases of early marriage. Schools today help to reduce gender discrimination by encouraging everyone that they are all the same in everything. The problem now is that girls do not answer questions, too shy to ask questions, and are not brave enough to fight for their rights. Then the boys take over, leaving the girls behind. Even some parents today believe that girls' education stops in the kitchen. After some years, they are married off to another man's home. Boys are rarely discriminated because they are bold, physically active, they are not shy to say things, and they are very cunning. Now coming to schools. Schools help a lot these days on gender discrimination. They help in educating the girls more about their rights, in class and even in clubs, e.g. engine girls. Schools teach both boys and girls their rights. They help in telling them how to take care of themselves, both physically and mentally. Schools teach the boys that girls are for them to protect and not for them to discriminate, no matter the force of them. They learn that everyone should be treated equally, both academically and socially. Even though there is weaknesses in the girls, they should not take advantage of those weaknesses anymore.
School is a place where we acquire knowledge, so there should be no gender differences among students. First, what is gender discrimination? Gender discrimination is the differences shown between two sexes. Experts agree that nature, that is biology, and nurture, that is environment, act together in reciprocally casual and interactive ways to produce gender differences. The experiences afforded to girls and boys within schools are known to affect gender differentiation both directly and indirectly. Schools can magnify or diminish gender differences by building environments that promote within gender differences. Psychologists have documented the ways in which schools contribute to gender differences via 1. Interviews with school, 2. Experimental studies of classroom conditions and behaviors of the students.
Gender roles are the patterns of behaviors, attitudes, and expectations associated with a particular sex, with being either male or female. For clarity, psychology sometimes distinguish gender differences, which are related to social rules, from sex differences, which are related only to physiology and anatomy. Using this terminology, gender matters in teaching more than sex. There are 3 rules of gender differences. 1. Physical differences in gender rules. 2. Social differences in gender rules. 3. Academic and cognitive differences. Physically, boys tend to be more active and girls, and by the same take more restless if they have to sit for long periods. They are also more prone than girls to rely on physical aggression if they are frustrated, but tendencies are consistent with the usual demands of classroom life. Of course, and make it a little likely that school will be a difficult experience for boys, even for boys who never actually get in trouble for being restless or aggressive.
The role of school to the original inhabitants response to gender differences. It is a negotiable negotiation or an argument or an agreement between the gender, boys and girls. The expected behavior or performances are not only for one gender alone, but for the 2 genders. Right now, let me classically and urgently bring you to this linear topic, which is gender inequality and self-reliance. Equality, I presume, is what each and every one of us do need and want. Chronological, we live in a place and a vulnerable place. Sequentially, it is a transitive and intransitive to say something in return to answer to reply. The present study investigated gender differences in both emotional experience, while the participants watched 16 video clips that induce 8 types of emotion: sadness, anger, horror, disgust, neutrality, amusement, surprise, and pleasure. Teachers particularly are not the primary cause of gender differences. Gender rules are the pattern of behavior, attitude, and expectations associated with a particular sex, with being either male or female. For clarity, psychology sometimes distinguishes gender differences which are related to social rules from sex differences which are related only to physiology and anatomy using this terminology.
After the presentation, representatives of the Association of Wives of Traditional Rulers, the Helpline Foundation, and others commended the level of intellect on display.
This is Junior Secondary School. I can tell you that some university child can never do what this girl did. Please, can you appreciate
I think I would like to start by saying that the school have done a great job by coaching these children, speaking this great English we are hearing today. Please put your hands together for the president. Secondly, we are already entrenching this gender equality because we can see that 3 boys participated and 3 girls participated. So the equality has started.
Good. Thank
right?
You.
Yeah. So
Clap now.
Well, I'm a psychologist. That's my profession, and I've been doing it for years now. And I actually major in child psychology, that's pediatrics, and all I've been doing really have been reflecting the girl child and the women and little children. Well, my little contribution is if we put the girl child behind there are going to be, in the future, women will suffer anxiety disorders because they've already been trained that men should be in the forefront. And if we continue like that, we're going to be having the economy suffering because there will be little or less numbers of women in policy making and implementation. So if we must grow the economy or grow the nation, we must involve women from this age so that they will know that there are responsibilities in the future for them, and it's going to add to the economic growth of the nation.
Their exposure to issues of gender inequality is very high. So I'm highly impressed by their performance. You can see from the student that the teachers know what they are doing. So they should be serious. This message they are reading is not just for reading's sake. No, looking at their environment, they should be very, very careful so that they will be able to attend to their future.
The three best students given awards for their outstanding performance.